Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today I'm putting on my Govberg hat, as what we've got here is not a pre-owned timepiece. Govberg Jewelers is an authorized dealer of Glashutte Original, and today we are discussing one of the most anticipated and one of the most talked about watches of 2019, a true high horology German sports watch. This is the Glashutte Original SeaQ Panorama date. The timepiece is generously sized at 43.2 millimeters in stainless steel. It's a true dive style utility timepiece, but not without grace, and the timepiece is wonderfully sized for my wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters circumference, so though it's a 43 plus, it's the shape and the lug-to-lug span that really makes the experience. 51.3 millimeters lug-to-lug, you can see that the curvature of the case means that the watch effectively wraps right around my wrist. Another feature that I adore is the pivoted end link design, so you can pull the bracelet straight down around a small wrist. There's no rigid flare like you'll get on bracelets with solid end links that create an artificial span across the wrist that can often complicate the actual ergonomic equation. The timepiece is 15.9 millimeters thick, but you can see a large amount of that is the nostalgically cambered sapphire. And then the spacing between the lugs is a nice modern 21 millimeters. So while the watch is designed in honor of the 1969 Spasmatic RPTS 200, there are more expressly vintage-inspired SeaQ models. This is the one that's designed to be a contemporary dive-style watch. All of stainless steel and mostly of satin finish. There is exquisite good taste in the creation of this watch that starts with the case and continues into a substantial bracelet, which you can see is polished on its center and satin finished on its shoulders as well as its outer face. Now, it's a clever design. As you can see, all of the individual links on both sides of the bracelet are removable, so you are going to find the proper size. That said, wrist sizes do change on the fly with activity, inactivity, hot or cold weather, so there is an incremental sizing adjustment, a push button system that is built into the clasp. So that's brilliant, and it feels quite solid when locked, so there's no undue movement or play. Twin trigger release, so no cheap clamshell here, and certainly not friction fit. I can tell you that the swing arms themselves are substantial, milled out, and inspire confidence. Rolling back to the case, you can see that it has the elegant mid case of a vintage dive watch, so that element is very true to history. And Geo went with a wonderful vertical satin finish that is uncommon, as more often than not when you see case bands with satin finish, it will be a longitudinal. Glashutte Original making this watch different even in detail. There's a handsome bevel that runs the full length of the case, and as you can see, the ends of the lugs are squared off in vintage fashion, but that is the only part of it that's vintage. Everything is very much contemporary in terms of materials, fit, finish, and spec. There is a deep and sharp knurling on the bezel. You can see it features a polished outer knurling. It makes for easy grip, and then there's a blue gloss ceramic bezel insert to better resist scratches and scuffs on the wrist with the raised and dramatically cambered sapphire, which creates a little bit of the off-axis plexiglass distortion of the 1969 original. You have two big scratch shields on the top of this watch in the bezel insert and then the sapphire itself. Screw down crown with nice deep knurling, easy to grip. You can see there's a little wave pattern designed to remind you that this is Glashutte Original going to sea, and then a wonderful and modest set of shear guards. They offer protection, but they don't dominate the profile of the watch. The dial is appealing as it's a blue sunburst and a vibrant blue. It's not quite a dark navy blue, and it's even a little bit lighter than a cobalt blue would be conventionally. It has an incredible effect in direct light, as even the soft light of my watch box is causing it to explode. The numeral, the font style that's used, you can see wonderful and nostalgic open sixes, for example, evocative of the late 60s, but very visible as there is an uncolored superluminova, the brightest available used on this dial. You've got a lovely Glashutte Original logo counterweighted seconds hand, and note that the seconds hand is lit. That's very important for me on a sports watch. There is the Panorama datum, as you can see, the outsized date with two discs down at 5 o'clock on the dial, between 5 and 4. Rolling, we'll make sure we're not in the danger zone. I'm going to demonstrate that there is both hacking or stop seconds, and of course, because we are dealing with a very large date, there is a quick set. And it is simply a lot of fun to freewheel a double-digit date. In its way, it is a small but well-chosen complication, and note the attention to detail in using monotone metallic blue date discs. Turn it all over, and we have a descendant of the caliber 36 family that bowed back at Bezel World 2016. Now, you will note, because I am one of the cool kids, I get to play with prototypes, and beyond that, they are German. prototypes. The movement, the caliber 36, is gorgeous. It's handsomely finished with Glashutte stripes, and you can see there's a double spiral on the reduction wheel of the winding system, and that is executed by hand. You'll also appreciate that there's a black polished swan's neck. All screw heads are black polished, and you'll appreciate that the skeletonized rotor, which is 21 karat gold on its mass outboard, features polished screws joining the mass to the rotor itself and a skeletonized profile to reveal more of the caliber. The watch is robustly water resistant down to 300 meters, so no concerns about using this for professional diving activities, and you'll appreciate the fact that the satinated wheels prove that the movement has multifaceted finishing. You have the stripes, you have the black polish, you have the satin, and you even have a lovely textural grain on the rotor itself, as well as, if you look carefully, the exterior circumference of the base plate. Now, the movement is technically extraordinary, adjusted in 6 positions, which is one more than a standard chronometer. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It features a silicone hairspring. The caliber 36 was the first Glashutte Original family of movements to use an antimagnetic and thermally resistant silicone hairspring. It also has an outstanding power reserve of 100 hours, so you have more than 4 days if you wish to wear this watch as part of a rotation. Sometimes we put a watch down for a day or two, and we need to count on it keeping the date and keeping the time, and this watch does that superbly. A modern high horology movement in a modern high horology dive watch. For 2019, this is the brand new Glashutte Original SeaQ. You can see it on our website, govbergwatches.com. And we're back with the Glashutte Original SeaQ Panorama date. A timepiece with a broadly loomed index on its bezel, an easily legible dial, and, critically, a large broad arrow minute hand so you can more easily read the minute hand against the bezel.